What's going on, you guys? Frost here, and I'm back with another guide. This time, we'll be talking about Rengar jungle. The following subjects will be mentioned in this guide: champion description, abilities, leveling order, runes, masteries, the item build, and ending off with the jungle routes. If you want to go to a specific subject straight away, you can click on it right now. Champion description. Rengar is an AD assassin. His kit allows him to pick off single target enemies extremely quickly. Rengar excels at fighting in areas with brushes, because his passive allows him to leap out of them onto a target. This makes Rengar very strong as a jungler / ganker, since you can just walk through a brush on top lane with 5 ferocity and snare someone whilst jumping onto them for quick and easy kills. Rengar is a very snowbally champion, meaning that if you get a kill early on Rengar, you can easily turn this into more kills. Downside is, Rengar is very class cannon the way I build him, meaning that he does a lot of damage but dies very quickly. If you like a champion that's very sneaky with insane burst damage to surprise your enemies, Rengar is definitely the champion for you. Rengar's abilities, starting off with his passive, Unseen Predator. While in a brush or stealth, Rengar gains bonus attack range and the next basic attack will cause him to leap to the target's location. This bonus lasts for 0.5 seconds upon exiting the brush or stealth, meaning that you can walk a very short range out of the brush or stealth and you will still make the leap. Take note, you can't use flash in combination with this to jump further when not ulted. This will instantly cancel your passive. His first ability, Savagery. Rengar's next basic attack within 3 seconds of use will deal bonus physical damage. When empowering this skill, it will deal extra damage upon the already bonus damage you will get, as well as increase his attack speed by 47 plus 3 times Rengar's level, and increase his attack damage by 10%. You can use this skill right after an auto attack to instantly hit again. This skill has a 4-second cooldown on max rank, and with 40% cooldown reduction, this will go down to 2.4 seconds. His second ability, Battle Roar. Rengar roars, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies and increasing his armor and magic resist for 4 seconds. Rengar gains additional armor and magic resist for each enemy champion or large monster hit. When empowering this skill, it will not only deal damage and give you defensive stats, it will also heal you for 8 plus 4 times Rengar's level. And this is increased by 6.25% for every 1% of Rengar's missing health, up to a cap of 50 plus 25 times Rengar's level. If the numbers don't interest you, it basically means you heal more the lower your health is, with a certain cap linked to your level. Leveling this ability has no effect on the amount healed. His third ability, Bola Strike. Rengar throws a bola in a linear line, and when it collides, it will deal physical damage and slow the target for 2.5 seconds. When empowering the skill, its damage increases further, and instead of slowing the target, it will root the target for 1.75 seconds. This skill is extremely useful for ganking, since you can just root the enemy in place and let your laner get some free damage off or even get the kill. His fourth ability, Thrill of the Hunt. After activating this ability, Rengar will gain stealth after 1 second. If you're taking damage, this can be delayed to up to 3 seconds. He also gains vision of all nearby enemy champions. While stealth, Rengar gains 15% bonus movement speed. Also exiting stealth will give you a movement speed boost. The enemy team will get a warning when you're running within a certain range. This skill is basically a free kill every time you use it. This is why I opt for 40% cooldown reduction as fast as I can, because more ults mean more free kills. His second passive, Bone Tooth Necklace. I call this his second passive because this is an item just for Rengar, and it gives him extra stats the more trophies he collects. He gains 1 trophy for every kill or assist he scores. There are 4 tier rewards on this item. The first tier will be reached at 3 trophies. Rengar gains 25 flat movement speed while out of combat or in a brush. The second tier will be reached at 6 trophies. Unseen Predator's range is increased by 125 range. The third tier will be reached at 12 trophies. Thrill of the Hunt's stealth duration is increased by 5 seconds. And the fourth and final tier will be reached at 20 trophies. Thrill of the Hunt's bonus movement speed while stealth is doubled. Leveling these abilities. On screen right now, you can see my leveling order for Rengar jungle. I started with Q on level 1 since this is your lowest cooldown skill and it resets auto attacks, so it increases your damage even further. On level 2 I take W. This offers me some healing and defensive stats, meaning I will survive the jungle better. And finally on level 3 I take E to complete all 3 skills for quick ferocity stacking. At this point I'm focusing on maxing my Q for an even lower cooldown and more damage. Right after Q I max E for more damage and better slows, since your E skills off AD, like your Q. And the last skill I max is W. This skill isn't worth maxing over any of the other skills in my opinion. It doesn't offer any substantial increase in damage since it scales of AP or any type of CC. Also, its heal increases based on missing health and Rengar's level, not on the level of this skill, meaning that the amount of health healed doesn't go up at all. Only the resistances go up. But since you're aiming to one-shot the enemy, you don't need the skill at all. And of course, you take R whenever possible. The runes. For Rengar, I go 9 attack damage marks, 9 flat armor seals, 9 flat cooldown reduction glyphs, and 3 flat cooldown reduction quints, giving me a total of 8.5 AD, 9 armor, and 15% cooldown reduction. I opt for cooldown reduction on Rengar because all of his skills are cooldown based, meaning you get to spam your skills more often. With cooldown reduction in runes plus the masteries and my item build, you will get 40% cooldown reduction right after your Ghost Blade. And more cooldown reduction of course means more fun with your ultimate, and this means more kills for the cat. The Masteries. I go 21 in offense and 9 in defense. In offense, I'm mainly focusing on getting that cooldown reduction to hit that 20% cooldown reduction mark at the start of the game, along with my runes, and the increase in damage. In defense, I just opt for surviving my jungle better, since gaining more health, health regen, and the bladed armor will help you clear your jungle quicker. The item build. I started with a machete, 2 health potions, and a yellow bone tooth necklace. After my first back, I buy Trailblazers. Trailblazers will help me sustain my jungle, since Rengar has quite a lot of problems with this, especially early game. Building these Trailblazers into the AD upgrade for the jungle item. The next item I go for are mobility boots. These will allow me to roam the map faster to either counter gank or gank more myself. After mobility boots, you want to build into a Ghost Blade. This item offers you all the stats you need, and with my build, this will allow you to have 40% cooldown reduction. Build the Everest Blade first, since the increased gold that you'll gain will speed up buying the finished item a bit. Also, you gain 10% crit chance, meaning that if you get a crit, you will crit for around 450 damage, which hurts like a truck at this point in the game. Right after Ghost Blade, build into a Tiamat. This item will give you wave clear as well as splash damage when you jump into the enemy team. After Tiamat, you want to build into a Lost Whisper for more armor penetration and more damage. After you bought your Lost Whisper, you turn your Tiamat into a Hydra for lifesteal and even more splash damage. Finally ending off with either an Infinity Edge or a Bloodthirster. Choosing between the Infinity Edge or a Bloodthirster is your own choice. Infinity Edge will boost the damage of your crits, as well as give you 35% crit chance along with your Ghost Blade. Bloodthirster also increases your damage and one-shot potential, but it gives you 20% lifesteal, meaning that you can survive more since you'll have a total of 32% lifesteal, and that's a lot of health you get back every auto attack. In exceptions against heavy CC in the enemy team like Fiddlesticks, Warwick or Lysandra, I go for the QSS, building this into a Mercurial Scimitar. The jungle routes. I'm starting off on purple side here with the Gromp. This is live game footage because I still had this from, somewhere. Anyway, starting Q with my build. A lot of cooldown reduction, most damage. I do my jungle route a bit differently here because since they upped the jungle item by 100 gold, I basically take a Gromp, then the blue buff, then the Wolves, and then I'll take the Crab in the River. That allows me to buy my item, my jungle item basically, and 2 extra health potions, which is great. Also gives your bot lane a ward. So that's a new strategy I do with Rengar, because if you do that, it basically means that you don't have to do an extra camp to get level 4, so you don't have to clear your entire jungle. You can skip one camp and it's like as fast as clearing your entire jungle would be. And you can still buy your item. Let's talk a little bit about what smiting does in this scenario actually. Because I smite the Gromp and then I don't smite this generally. I snare it because if you snare this, it takes more damage. I did smite it in this case apparently, but you don't need to smite it generally, because snaring it will allow you to do enough damage and you can keep your smite. And since smite stacks, you can just use your smite on red buff to basically kill that for free, and then smite like double golems to get the buff, or smite like wraiths to get the buff, whatever you want to do to get level 4. Ganking strategies with Rengar, by the way. Generally, what I do on Rengar is I farm level 4 and then I try to look for a gank. So basically, clear one half of the jungle and the crab, and then clear 2 camps. Basically meaning the buff and one other camp, either that being Gromp, Wolves, whatever. Just one camp. And then I just try to look for a gank on top lane, because top lane early game, it's a pretty free gank most of the time. Especially if your laner is pushed up, then you can just walk into the lane and then gank it for free. If you just make sure you run towards top lane with 5 stacks on your ferocity, so you can go in and snare someone. Snaring someone is pretty much always the best option because it gives you the most. So you should always do that. Alright, right now the other side of the jungle, I always stand there, just on the side, like under the side of the red brush, because then you can see Blitzcrank coming or anyone like from their bot lane or supports who just wanna just stop you with doing your double golems or just fuck with you. Generally what I do is if I play against like Shaco or Lee Sin, I'll ward like safely on the top there. To see them coming. I didn't have to this game because, well, it's a custom game and this is just to show you. This side of the map is quite hard to do it on. If you don't have your support to help, you'll lose a lot of health. That's the downside about the Rengar jungle early. You really get hurt, so you have to be careful with dying here. You should always have like 5 ferocity or 4 ferocity when going to this camp. It will basically allow you to get the stuns off and kill this camp, because as you can see, my health is dropping riskily low here. Alright, after killing one of those mini waves, I hit level 3 and I get my E, so I can use that to get the other ferocity. Right now, the same strat, I'm going to the crab in the river. Right now, I haven't seen any jungler do this yet, and it basically just helps you so much. You give your bot lane vision in the river, as well as you get extra gold, so you can buy your jungle item with 2 health potions. It's just too good. You should always do this. Pretty much on every jungler, it's worth just doing 3 camps, take this, and do 2 camps and get level 4. It's pretty much always worth it. Right, again, when I hit level 4 on this side, I'll generally try to run to top lane, because that's the most free gank early game. Once I hit level 6, though, mainly I'm using my ults on bot lane, because if you ult your bot lane, it's basically either 2 kills, 2 assists, or like 2 flashes, whatever. It's double the worth. Yes, you can use your ult on mid lane and so forth if your bot lane is doing fine, but generally try to use your ults on bot lane. You'll have them like every 90 seconds with my cooldown reduction build, so that's pretty great. But still, I always try to keep my ults for bot lane. Of course, don't just, if you see a free kill, don't just not ult, because it's free and you should always take it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave comments below with what other guide you want to see, and I'll see you guys next time with another guide. Bye!